day in a lot of ways for the SEC, Shane, and certainly for our upset pick here. Kansas State, oh my God, 40, Missouri 12. It was just a shellacking here. Missouri scored. They were up 3-0, Shane. I was feeling good. I was like, okay, we're going to give us a ball game here. Kansas State scored 40 of the next 43 points that were scored in this ball game. Missouri scored as time expired to, I don't want to say make it respectable or close. This was just a thorough just destruction. Brady Cook, 2 interceptions. They brought in a backup. We'll get to drinking here in a second, but he said we basically brought him in to keep Brady Cook alive. Jack Abraham threw 3 passes. 2 of them were intercepted, including the first one he threw. Man, I guess Kansas State really is as good as old Steven made him out to be, Shay, because we were hyping up Missouri, their run defense, number 1 in the country. K-State just picked them apart. 43 carries, 235 yards, 5.5 per carry, 4 touchdowns on the ground. Missouri is still huge liabilities on the defensive running game, and they got to look themselves in the mirror, Shane, before SEC play gets here, because they've got some real issues on this team.
Yeah, no, I mean, we just touted the defense, and it's like, they took a day off, and then the running game, Mizzou, like everything they did good last week, they did terrible this week, and that's a little discouraging, because I thought, hey, we're gonna keep that running game going, we're gonna keep that tenacious defense play going, and they got a real shot against Kansas State, but it just went right out the window. When your quarterback's the leading rusher, something's wrong, and typically it's in the trenches. So that's something they got to correct real quick, because again, you got to be able to run in the SEC. If you're not, then people are just going to pin their ears back, and Cook's going to be running for his life.
Yeah, and you asked me leading up to this one, Shane, how many touchdowns Luther Burden going to get? I said 2. That's how many touches he got in this ball game. And I don't know what in the hell we're doing if he's just getting 2 touches. I mean, he should be getting 2 touches a drive. We've got to be taking shots to him. We have got to be getting the ball in his hands as much as humanly possible. I don't know how much of the playbook he's got, but he's been there long enough. We should have 20 plays he can handle. He's on the bag of chips for a reason. Shane, get him the ball. He's your best player. But let me ask you this, because you're starting to see it a little bit where some people are saying, well, hell, is he just a snake oil salesman, or he's touting up the progress, but we're not making it. What's up with this offense? Should we put him on the hot seat? And I'm not trying to put down Missouri at all by saying this, Shane, but who are you going to get that's going to be, some elite coach that is dying to take this job? And we sing in the praises of Mark Stoops at Kentucky. Well, there was a point in time early in his tenure, much like Drink right here, where they were ready to run his ass off too. And I understand it maybe at, Florida. Their expectations are to win the national championship. At LSU, they're winning national championships. You ain't getting it done. Your ass got to go. At a place like Missouri, where Drink is recruiting better than they've ever recruited before, where they may not be world beaters at this point in time, you have got to invest in your program and invest. I don't know how much. It's an issue that they're every year is a different defensive coordinator. That's a huge red flag in my opinion. We have got to get some continuity. We have got to have some belief. We have got to give time at a place like Missouri. So I'm not saying Drinkwitz is the best coach in the country or anything like that, and he's a slam dunk to turn it around at Missouri. But firing a coach every 3 years at Missouri, I guarantee you, we've seen it at Tennessee. That gets you nowhere.
You got to buy in. You got to buy in your coach. Hell, I would even give him an extension. And I know it sounds nuts, but these recruits need to see that. They need to see that your coach isn't on the hot seat. He's trying to build from within. Protect the borders. And Missouri has a lot of talent out there, and if they can do that, which they've been doing, and keep building off that, then you got to give them a shot. I'm with you here, man. You buy in. Eli has done some very good things up there in Mizzou, and I think the road ahead, I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. But there's going to be, you don't have a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
There was a reason they tried to get every damn transfer in the,
Exactly.
And they've got
Mike.
a touted freshman.
If they got one, we'd been talking something different.
Right, and they got a touted freshman that many people across the country, including Tennessee and Josh Heupel, really wanted in Sam Horn. Maybe he's your future, but he's just not ready yet. Maybe there comes a time where he emerges, and it probably is not going to be this season. Shane, you can't ask a true freshman to come in here and dominate the SEC at the game's most important position. Georgia and Alabama don't even ask quarterbacks to come in and dominate as freshmen outside of maybe like a Jalen Hurts, who, let's be honest, he didn't dominate. He filled his role and he excelled at it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just think it's the height of stupidity to have a guy in here. We see plenty of positivity, and then we say, well, hell, this ain't working out. Let's get rid of him. And all they're going to do is hire Drinkwitz 2.0 and hope,
Exactly.
that it's even better, which is not going to be.
Yeah, no, you've got to believe that the hire you made originally was the best hire.
Yeah.
If you swung and missed a couple of times, you're not going to get another opportunity. So just double down, buy in. Let's build this thing, because there is some youth on this program with a lot of talent. You got a potentially game-winning quarterback. You got one of the best wide receivers. I wouldn't say wide receiver. I'd just say athlete.
Yeah.
One of the best athletes in college football. The future is bright. It's just you got to build it, know?
The team in the locker room after this one?
Yeah, one game doesn't define the season. How we respond will. There's going to be a lot of negative thoughts and opinions out there about it, but this team's got to stay together. Everything we're trying to accomplish is still out in front of us, but we got to get a lot better than what we were today.
Kind of two parts. Why'd you go to Jack for a little bit, and then where are you at quarterback-wise coming off this game?
Yeah, I just felt like Brady had gotten hit quite a bit, and after the air got knocked out of him and we threw the interception, I just felt like let's just see if Jack was seeing something different. Obviously not ideal situation for him to go in the game either. Brady's our quarterback. I was just trying to light a spark or get something else going, but Brady's our quarterback.
Could you evaluate?
Well, speaking of disappointing